Hello, classmates. This is Andre. I'm doing our video blog on our counselor's competency and wellness. Um, with the most common things that I've noticed looking through um, the Department of Health Profession is that a lot of counselors were getting suspended for not renewing their license and also having dual relationships. um, I was like, I understand, not renewing your license at the time that it is because, sometimes you get the bill and you're like, okay, I got until such and such to pay this, so I'll just wait till it get closer to that time, and then before you know it, the time has came and gone, and then you're like, now you're getting a letter saying that you need to be reinstated. I can understand that, but just a future reference, maybe with now that we have smartphones and calendars on our phones, put the due date in there, or even just go ahead and pay it at that time, or even also putting the date when you're due to make that payment on your work calendar, so you're always being faced with it some way or another. That that bill is due and it needs to be paid, but being able to pay for it effectively immediately would be something that should be taken care of. Or you can also have it too where your office manager may be the one that handles the stuff like billing and stuff like that for the facility, that maybe that you own that practice can go ahead and take care of that. Or again, just making sure that you go ahead and pay for it as soon as you get the bill, so that you won't have to worry about trying to get yourself reinstatement. Now, the part on with the dual relationship one, it has to be some type of impairment there. I can't see someone. Um, I can see someone losing their license over this. Meaning, I feel like there's a little bit of like transference and counter transference. And just in case you don't know, transference is when the client transfer their feelings to you, and the counter transference is when um, the counselor unconsciously do it to the client. So somewhere along the line, there's something that's going on, and everyone that I read, they were actually having sexual encounters with their clients, and even to the point where there was one time, one of them, there was a client that was being seen with her fiance, and the counselor had the fiance to stop coming, and they were having sexual activities in the office during treatment time, in his car, at her apartment. It was a lot. There was a lot going on with that. And and that one right there kind of really stuck out to me, because I was just could believe, people would jeopardize their licensure over something like that, meaning that you would never ever be able to work anywhere with that on your record. So I wouldn't jeopardize that. And again, like I said, if there's an impairment, it should be addressed where that counselor go and talk to someone about the issues that they're feeling, and maybe they could have helped prevent them going into having dual relationships with their clients. It also stated in the ACA Code of Ethics, Section A.5A, about sexual and or romantic relationships are prohibited. It doesn't say that you can't, but you do have to wait a 5-year period, as is stated in Section A5C of the ACA Code of Ethics. But anytime, I would never want to have any type of relationship like that with my client. Period. If I'm treating them, that's what I want to do. I'm going to treat them, and there will be nothing more involved in it, because I'm not going to school to mess it all up and basically just have a piece of paper stating that I did go to school, but I can't use it for anything else. So I wouldn't jeopardize my livelihood or my career behind, dual relationships and things of that nature. So, that's what I took out of that. Just, making sure that they just need to make sure that they get help outside of the clinic or the facility, or maybe there's someone that they can talk to in their facility that they work for. It all depends. But I just pray over them that they, get the help that they need, even though they're not able to be able to, work anymore. Now, as far as how self-care or lack of result in counselor impairment, it's when a client doesn't, I'm sorry, when a counselor does not take time for themselves. And, sometimes we get involved in our work so much that we forget about ourselves. And, you need to take time to me time. Even as parents sometimes, and if you those that have kids, sometimes you do need that me time. That time just where you can relax, relate, and not, have any stresses or worrying about the kids and things of that nature. And it's good that, everybody sometimes just need a break. Just take a time out, mental break, whatever it is, whether it's just going to dinner by yourself or with a couple of friends, and not even just not talking about work or anything dealing with work, just talking about everyday life and, just having fun and being able to enjoy yourselves or enjoy the company of your significant other or whomever. But, there has to be someone that you can trust to talk to if you're not trying to seek counseling. But I prefer that you would seek counseling. But, sometimes people don't. There's stigmas about counselors, so they rather, go to, if they have to, go to their pastor if they feel comfortable, or a best friend or someone that they can, that can help them through it and not just listen, give them some great pointers. But that's where the impairment comes into me, and then also if they have, personal things going on in their life, like funerals or someone just died, and, that thing of that nature. So, it's just good that you have somebody that you can talk to, that you can lean on and just listen. Sometimes people just want somebody to listen to so that they have someone to vent to. But if it leading into more like as far as alcohol or drug use, then you might need to go ahead and see a counselor for that part. The ACA code ethics and what I found that some of the professionals say about wellness and impairment is in the ACA code of ethics section 2C2G. It states that counselors monitor themselves for signs of impairment for their own physical, mental, emotional problems and refrain from providing for professional services when impaired. They seek assistance for problems that reach the level of professional impairment, and if necessary, they limit, suspend, or terminate professional responsibility until it is determined that they may safely resume their work. Counselors assist colleagues or supervisors in recognizing their own professional impairment and provide consultation and assistance when warranted with colleagues or supervisors showing signs of impairment and intervene as appropriate for imminent harm to clients. So basically, just saying, maybe if you see a sign that you need to stop from working because the issue is getting to the point that it's flowing into your clients' sessions, then maybe you need to take a break and just get yourself together, regroup, and bring it all back together. And even like with the ethical decision, reading the Journal of Practitioners Guide to Ethical Decision Making by Dr. Holly Forrest Miller and Dr. Thomas, they, under the third moral principle, it talks about the benefits, whereas counselors must prevent harm when possible. So if you are not well yourself, then how can you help your client? So it's better, it starts with you. Get yourself fixed first before you can fix someone else. And if you're feeling like that you are going to have some type of impairment, if an impairment involves in the way that you're feeling, then you might want to go ahead and talk to someone about it before it becomes bad, where you're having like maybe dual relationships, or you are returning to alcohol and things of that nature. The one question that does come to mind to me in this part that we're doing is, should there be slots added for self-care? Should there be a reliable staff member that you hire if you own your own practice, or if you work at a practice that they schedule time for counselors and men, and then making sure that there is a time slot for self-care, like lunch or training or doing something fun, because a lot of times people are like, oh, I work through lunch. I've had where I went to a dental office where from 1 to 2, the whole office shuts down. And there's nobody inside the building. They go for lunch. And just to get away from the building, You're not talking about work. You're just enjoying yourself, each other's company, um and that nature. So like I said, again, my question is, is there a way to put time slot, like make it mandatory, or is there some way where there is somewhere in part of the week that everybody, I mean the counselors have a part where they go to training or have some type of fun exercise? I'm not, that's what I'm thinking about, because I think a lot of times people don't stop and do things for themselves. All right, thank you all for listening. Have a great day.